everybody. Welcome to the high desert in Arizona. My name is Rich Charpentier, and we're currently in Prescott, Arizona. It is going to be April 1st really soon. Today is, let's see here, what day is it? It is March 30th, and I'm standing outside on a 70-degree day in short sleeve shirt, and I'm pretty happy to be out here. So for this episode of AZ Drone, we're actually going to take a Mavic Pro out, and we're going to be doing a couple of items with Litchi. I'm probably going to break this up into multiple videos, so we'll do each one at a time. So we're going to do a 360 Pano with Litchi today, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So right now I've got the Mavic Pro, and I've got my Mavic Pro controller with an iPhone 8 down here at my launch pad, so I'm going to show that to you in a sec. And I've already gone through my checklist, so I checked out my cables, my controller, my batteries. I've got fully charged batteries. I made sure to take the gimbal lock off of my Mavic Pro, and that's something that people forget to do. So I have my little mental checklist when I'm breaking things out, and when I first started flying the Mavic Pro, I did forget, and I did leave the gimbal lock on 2 different times, and I knew right away something was wrong before I even started flying, because the gimbal checks itself out, does a little testing before flying, and I noticed, oh, the gimbal's locked in position. So that was, my bad, but it's one of those things you'll get in the habit of doing. So before we start flying and before we start showing you the Litchi screen while I'm setting things up, let me just show you my location here. So I'm going to come around and grab the camera and flip that down. So right here we have got the Mavic Pro, the original Mavic Pro, and right next to it there is my controller and my iPhone 8 ready to go. So I will be talking through the video, but part of the video is going to be overlaid with some audio files. And why am I going to overlay it with some audio files? Well, as you're probably well aware, these little suckers are noisy. You can hear them coming. So if I just flew this 20 feet above me and was doing some audio recording, you'd just hear meh. So I'm going to fly this out a little ways before I actually do the 360 Pano, because that's the one that we're going to do first. And so I actually love using Litchi for 360 Panos. I'm not enjoying their beta so far on their own Pano engine. When I am done with this, I actually take the memory card out, I go into my Airstream, and I load the images into PTGui, or PTGui, excuse me, and you will actually see that on screen. So I've flown the drone just 150 feet away from me, and it's not interfering with the audio now. I'm going to make sure to, let me see here, just want to get my focus. So I'm just going to tap on the screen because I want that infinite focus right now. And I am now going to go on the left-hand side, upper left corner, you see FP person view, and I am going to change that to Pano. So now the left-hand bar has a couple of different symbols. We've got a little globe, we've got a folder, and then we've got some settings. So you can actually set your own custom 360 Pano settings with Litchi, or if you press on the globe, it's going to do an auto 360 for you. So I'm actually going to go ahead and select the globe, and here I go, Auto Pano automatically optimizes the camera settings, blah blah blah. I'm going to say OK to this. So it's now initializing the Pano, and it's now going to start taking the photos. If you look in the lower left corner, you'll see photos taken 2 of 23, and now it's going to take 3 of 23. So it's going to start doing a little circle here, a 360 circle, shooting at different angles to provide me with 23 images that will stitch together a very nice 360 panoramic. When it's done, I'm going to bring the drone back to me, and I'm going to take the memory card of the drone, I'm going to pop it onto my computer, and I'm going to go ahead and have another program called PTGui actually put the panoramic together for me. And then we'll get the 23rd photo.
Panorama ended.
And now Litchi is trying to download the previews for me. That's the one thing I don't like about this, so I always hit cancel on it, because not only can you download the previews, you can also stitch the panorama together with Litchi's new Beta Panoramic app. I don't want to leave my drone hovering hundreds of feet away from me while I'm downloading all the image files. It doesn't make me comfortable, and that's just something in my own head, because I've used other automated programs like Map Pilot and Ground Station Pro, and they're running my drone for me and I'm following along with it. But for some reason, the idea of downloading a bunch of large photo files just makes me a little uncomfortable. Okay everybody, so we've come inside, we've flown the drone, and we've done our 360 images. Now I'm going to jump down to applications, and I'm going to go all the way down to PTGui, if I can find it. There I go. And PTGui has come up. So this is the program that I use for putting together my panos after I've shot them with the Mavic Pro and Litchi. I'm going to go ahead and load the images. And I made a folder where I offloaded the photos called Pano folder, and I'm going to select all of them and open. And here they're coming into PTGui very quickly. Now I'm going to align the images. So this usually doesn't take too long. It depends on how many images you have that you're stitching together. In the case of this one, 23 images is pretty quick. And we've got the images aligned, and it pops up this little pano viewer to see how the stitching was done, and it looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and close that one, and in PTGui I'm going to go to Advanced, and I'm actually going to go to the optimizer to see how this is. So I'm going to run the optimizer, and the optimizer is telling me this is not so good. It's not terrible, but it's not great. I'm going to say OK to that. And I'm going to go back to my project assistant. Now I could immediately create the panorama if I'd like to, but I'm going to go in here to the panorama editor, and I'm going to change the projection to little planet. So now when I output this, it's going to make one of the tiny planets. I'm going to click on create panorama here, and so you can specify the width and height in pixels, the file format, so I'm going to do JPEG, and then the output file is actually where I've stored all the pano images. And I'm going to go ahead and create the panorama. Okay, so the panorama has been created, and the next thing that I'm going to do is just open up the folder where I saved it, under Arizona Drone, Litchi, and my Pano folder. And in addition to all of the originals, I now have this new JPEG that's 14 megabytes. And here's a tiny planet generated from Litchi and from my DJI Mavic. So I'm just zooming this in a little bit. And now what I could do is take this particular image into Photoshop, whoops, and finish manipulating it in Photoshop to maybe add some more clarity, you know, play around with the colors, whatever I'd like to do.